What's going on, Black people? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, the Black Business School, and I wanted to give you a quick stock market report to let you guys know what's going on. And so, as we get started here, I also want to welcome you guys to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. It's a daily financial news and commentary platform designed for the Black community. And so, on the Black Financial Channel, one of the things I've been talking to you guys about a lot recently is the recent drop in the stock market and what's been going on with that. Today, as of March 6th, the Dow dropped about 400 points, which actually is an improvement from the original drop. It dropped this morning when I first turned on my phone. I think it dropped maybe 800 points or so. And so it's actually rebounded a little bit from what I understand. But either way, though, it was kind of interesting. What was really surprising about this decline is that it happened right as you got a blockbuster jobs report that came out. It turns out that when it comes to job creation, unemployment rolls, things like that, we're doing better than ever. I mean, literally, and you can give credit to Trump or no credit to Trump. I don't really care. Either way, you have to say that this is a really strong economy, at least when it comes to finding jobs. And so with this blockbuster jobs report, you would have expected that the market would have seen an uptick, but actually you didn't see an uptick. You actually saw a downtick, a major downtick, and it's sort of down, like going down steps. Now, the other thing that's interesting is that a lot of the experts say that this is not the end. Remember, you've been climbing for a really long time. So the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The higher you go, the further you can fall. So we've got a lot of ways that we can actually go. I mean, there's no sort of, this sort of idea that you should always buy the dip because the dip is eventually going to recover. That is true. But the question when it comes to recovering dips is actually time. How long is it going to take for the dip to recover? And are you possibly entering into a regime of market activity that you've never seen in American history before? So we can tell you what's happened in the past, but nobody knows about the future. Now, is a Great Depression on its way? No, this is not likely going to be a Great Depression. There are a lot of factors that played out to cause the Great Depression and to exacerbate the Great Depression, including just really bad leadership from an economic standpoint. Again, say what you want about the Trump administration, but their leadership on the stock market and the economy, it's not that bad. It's just not. And so I don't think that you're going to see a Great Depression. But what you are going to see is you're going to see some fundamental shifts in the economy, resulting not so much from the coronavirus, but really more so from the reaction to the coronavirus. You're seeing fundamental shifts in supply chains, in the way people do business. Lots of organizations are acting preemptively to prevent the virus. So sometimes it's not so much about what actually happens that matters. It's what people think is going to happen. And then not just what people think is going to happen, but what they think could happen. Because, if you're protecting against 5 or 6 different possibilities, but only one reality is actually going to occur, then you spend a lot of resources protecting against things that are never going to happen. So the government recently passed an $8 billion package to fight the coronavirus. And so that's going to be really interesting to kind of watch. The price of gold is through the roof because gold, Miami Black, you're absolutely right. The price of gold is going up through the roof because gold is a safe haven asset. Treasury bills are going up in value, which is driving down the yields, which basically says that people, it's almost like when it rains and everybody goes inside. Well, when it starts raining in the stock market, people run inside to, buy safer assets. They run inside to buy gold. They start buying treasury bonds. They also start buying Japanese yen. And so I'm reading more here on CNBC. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button and follow the Black Financial Channel on Instagram. We're on Instagram. Make sure you follow the Black Financial Channel on Instagram. We got to support our Black-owned media outlets. So airlines rebounded a little bit because the chief economic advisor for the Trump administration, Larry Kudlow, said the White House is considering targeted measures to help the airline industry because a lot of flights were canceled as a result of the virus. The market remained under pressure even after a blowout jobs report. The economy added 273,000 jobs in February, which beat the expectation, which was 175,000 jobs. That really got my attention. That got my attention because I said, my God, we blew out the jobs report, which is normally going to lead to a boost in the market. Because it's all about what happens compared to the expectations. And so for the market to still have a major drop as a result of that really makes me wonder how bad the drop would have been if you hadn't had that good news balancing some of the bad news. So Andrew Simon, who's a senior portfolio manager at Morgan Stanley, says markets have not done well on Fridays because we are all expecting the situation to worsen over the weekend. I can agree with that. It's been a roller coaster trading week as the Dow has swung 1,000 points or higher twice within 3 days. Friday's declines extended a deep rout for stocks, adding to a 979-point loss for the Dow in the previous session. So if you look at the last maybe 7 days of the Dow, I'm looking at a chart right here. I see a lot of red. Most of the days were bad. Out of about the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, 2 of them have been positive, but they've been enormously positive. Like a 1,200, we had a 1,200 point jump on the second and a 1,173 point jump on the fourth. But in the midst of that, you've had a lot of negative days. You had 2 days where the Dow dropped by over 1,000, another day where it dropped by almost 1,000. So if you look in that 1,000 range, actually there have been about 5 days between 750 negative and 1,100 negative or 1,200 negative. So most of the days have been dark. And what you're also seeing is, and this is something I studied a lot when I was getting my PhD, is reversals. You tend to just see the market kind of overreact. It kind of adjusts. It goes overboard, then it pulls back. Then it goes back too far, then it pulls back again. So it's like a car, like you're driving a car and you keep doing this because you're trying to go straight. So you're always kind of swerving a little bit. Well, that's kind of what the market does. The market swerves. It overreacts, underreacts, overreacts, underreacts. It's just kind of silly, but really it speaks to, why, basic trading strategies like selling when everybody's buying and buying when everybody's selling and whatever tends to actually work, like doing the opposite of what the world is doing. That's what Warren Buffett kind of does. When everybody's greedy, he's fearful. When everybody's fearful, he's greedy. He actually has a quote like that. Let me see here. So let's see. The magnitude of the S&P 500 sell-off has further to go, says Binky Chadha, Deutsche Bank's chief equity strategist. In terms of duration, just in 2 weeks, it is much too early to declare this episode is being done. The expanding health crisis. So he's saying that the Dow has a lot further to go. It's not over yet. What do you think about the FIRE movement? I'm going to do a Q&A actually on all these sorts of things tomorrow. My Black Stock Market class, we're actually going to have a meeting. Sorry, not tomorrow, Sunday night at 8 p.m. We're having a Q&A where I'm going to answer every single question on a more fundamental level in terms of understanding how markets work. So if you'd actually like to do a 30-day trial in my stock market class for just $1 for the first 30 days, you can, the fee is $89 a month to be in the program. But if you want to try it for $1 for 30 days, you can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, THE. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. Somebody type that in so everybody can see it. The expanding health crisis kept investors on edge as global cases of coronavirus infections surpassed 100,000 with 3,383 deaths. So based on the reported data, it looks like there's about a 4% mortality rate. I would imagine the majority of those deaths are a large percentage are probably senior citizens. And I don't know what the mortality rate is for the flu. Let me see here. Mortality rate for the flu. What is the mortality rate for the flu? Let's see here. I don't see a direct number, but when they look at the comparisons between the two, according to livescience.com, let's see here. So far, the new coronavirus has led to 89,000 illnesses and 3,000 deaths. Well, that's that I guess this article is 2 days old, but that's nothing compared to the flu. In the U.S. alone, the flu has caused an estimated 32 million illnesses, 310,000 hospitalizations, and 18,000 deaths this season. Now, 18,000 deaths on 32 million illnesses is not as high of a mortality rate as 3,800 deaths on 100,000 illnesses, right? So that means if you had 1 million people infected with the coronavirus, you'd be looking at 38,000 deaths. I mean, if you just use that basic math, right? If you had 32 million or 30 million people infected with the coronavirus, so that would be, I guess, 30 times higher. So you would take 30,000 times 30. So I guess that would be not, let's see, not 100. That's a million. Is that a million people? Holy crap! So that's a lot. So it looks like the mortality rate of the coronavirus is higher than the flu, and it also seems that they don't understand the coronavirus as well as they understand the flu. Here's a quote from Anthony Fauci, who is the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. He says, despite the morbidity or mortality with influenza, there's a certainty of seasonal flu. I can tell you all, guaranteed, that as we get into March and April, the flu cases are going to go down. You could predict pretty accurately what the range of mortality is and the hospitalizations will be. The issue now with the coronavirus is that there's a lot of unknowns, and that's it. And that's been the point I've made on this platform in many occasions, is that that the only thing they know is that they don't know, and that's interesting because it makes you wonder. Okay, so as it warms up, are the infections going to drop, just like with the flu? When I've seen people talk about the fact that Africa doesn't have very many cases, if any, and there are conspiracy theories, right? They say that Africans can't get it. I don't know. I need to see some proof of that, but I'm not saying that's not true. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That's not what we're talking about today. So don't, I know you want to say stuff in the comments like Black people don't get sick. Okay, cool. But here's the point. The point of that is to say that it made me wonder about the climate. If you're in a warm environment, are you more or less likely to be infected by this new virus, which acts a lot like the flu? Most of the experts I've read have said that you really can't tell the difference in terms of symptoms and severity between the two. Typical flu symptoms include fever, cough, sore throat, muscle aches, headaches, runny or stuffy nose, fatigue, and sometimes vomiting and diarrhea. Flu symptoms often come on suddenly. Most people who get the flu will recover in less than 2 weeks. And in some cases, the flu can cause pneumonia. With COVID-19, which is a coronavirus, doctors are still trying to understand the full picture of the symptoms and severity. Reported symptoms in patients have varied from mild to severe, including fever, cough, shortness of breath, etc. In general studies of hospitalized patients, they found that 83% to 98% of patients develop a fever, 76% to 82% develop a dry cough, 11 to 44% develop fatigue and muscle aches. So they're really doing a lot of research here. One of the stocks that I bought that did take off during the market crash was a company called Gilead Sciences, Gilead. I didn't buy a lot. I just bought a little to add it to my portfolio. And that sucker skyrocketed during the coronavirus outbreak because this company was listed as one of the leading companies to find a potential vaccine for the coronavirus, which is going to take a really long time to come up with. So let me just read a little bit more. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done it yet. Please hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe, theblackfinancialchannel.com. So Donald Trump basically signed a major bill of about $8.3 billion to prevent the coronavirus. Treasury yields saw sharp declines after the Fed announced an unexpected 50 basis point cut from its benchmark interest rate. What does that mean? Well, basically, Treasury yields dropping because there's a higher demand for bonds and the Fed's cut interest rates. And then also what's also going to probably occur is that the Fed is going to cut rates again, but don't expect the market to make a major jump when that occurs, because the market already expects that to happen. When the market expects something to happen, they adjust based on what they're expecting to happen. They don't always adjust based on what actually happened, unless what happened differs from what they expected to happen. So that is kind of the funny thing about the market, is the minute the market gets a signal that you're going to probably cut rates, they're going to start pricing stocks as if you've already cut the rates, or based on probabilities on how much they think the rates are going to be cut by. So the market tends to operate on information and knowns, and when there's an unknown, they break it into probabilities and they price it in a specific way. So if you'd like to understand more about how the markets work and how the pricing occurs and stuff like that, feel free to check out my stock market investing program. You can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, THE, that's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. And based on student demand and what you guys have asked us to do, I spoke with the president of our company, and we're actually going to do a 2-day investing summit where we're going to do deep dives into stock market investing, how that works, how to form your portfolio, things like that. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Please have a great day. And one more thing, if you live in Maryland, near Hanover, Maryland, I'll be in Hanover, Maryland. You can go to what's the URL? Springintowealth.com. That's springintowealth.com. And then I'll be out of San Jose at an event hosted by Constance Carter, which is We Summit. We Summit-Boyce.com. I guess they want to track how many people come from my tribe or something. So feel free to use We Summit-Boyce.com. All right, guys. So hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe. I'm out of here. Have a good day. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.